Michael Mechanical here, and today I'm going to have to give you an update. This thing will not be running as soon as I'd like. I've got some extra work to do since it's almost done, but now it's not almost done anymore because when you fix things you find another problem, I think there's spider webs on my face, but I don't know. I just started putting some oil in the vehicle and found our very first leak. And it's not good, but it's not bad either. And we had this transmission rebuilt, so I started putting fluids in. It's leaking up here a little bit, not much, but it's also cracked on. I can't get the camera, I can't do everything because this is hard, thanks to YouTube. There's a crack on this side here, it's that black section there, so right up there. So if I can get the light up there, not on the camera, you should be able to see it just. And there's a little bit of trans fluid right there, and if you're lucky you might actually get to see it drip, but it's very slow leak. The way we knew is looking at the ground, there's two holes and it started looking like oil. That's a little bit of trans fluid. Here's a tissue, so wipe, you'll see on the tissue it sort of transferred the oil that's leaking from that crack. So we got another job to do. We had two options, but we're going to go with option 2, I believe it is. So option 1 was we clean it up as best as we can, and we put some goop on it like we did my car. Not on the transmission, I did on the head rocker cover, and that should stop the leaking. And it'll be better than that anyway, because at least it's stretchy, flexible. Whereas lead is not, that's lead soldered. Or we have to pull the sump off, we have to get a new gasket for it as well, which sucks because gaskets expand, they're not really reusable after a long time. As I can ask the professional what he suggests, because we've got to fix that. It's not good, because what happens is when you're fitting things, some things don't line up, and you know where the problem is because someone did touch the pan, and so you have to sort of move things harshly, and it wasn't strong enough to cope, so it may have let go when we might have moved it or bent it a little bit, which is why option 1 was the easy way out, and option 2 was the hard way out. So essentially I got to support the transmission, I've got to pull off the cross member, and then I've got to remove the pan, and it's a lot of complex work because it's a T-piece cross member, so there's bolts in the middle here, and then there's bolts back there. So I've got to unbolt it there, unbolt it here on the other side, and then that will bring the cross member out. That's also how you service the automatic. So it's a little bit of extra work. Other than that, like I said, this is almost good. There's some other problems. One, you can't get the right hose, so it's not the right length. It doesn't fit. The radiator's in, brand new radiator. It's hooked up there with a Triton hose, so that fits. I've got Triton, all the stuff for the Triton's in here. So the belt that's too small for the Triton's on here, even though it's what the size is for the Triton. The Triton's old power steering belt is on here, and the Triton's brand new bearing and belt for the AC is on here because we don't have an AC in our car. Our AC is still sitting on the bench right here. So I was looking into getting another transmission, spare parts. My car, yeah, I'm making this video because this is what's going to stop us now, and that's because I don't really get much time to work on stuff. Or I'm just like, I need a break, so I'm having my break, and now I'm not having a break anymore. And now this is the hard part. Now I've got to do more work to get this stuff done. I just used a zip tie to fix this thing up. This is another problem here because of this little latch is causing some issues because it hits here and then you can't get it off. So I'm using a zip tie to hold this to that plate that we made up, and that stick is actually loose in there, so it just moves around all over the place, which it shouldn't. I'm pretty sure it's bolted up. I'm certain it's bolted up, but it just moves all over the place. I don't know why, but it's meant to be away, so it's not quite bent in the right place. Even that thing has been modified. So in 2 pointers, that bar been modified. One, it's been welded back on, because I remember now, when we pulled this all apart, Dad found the dipstick bar and the piece it was meant to be on. He welded it back together again, but he didn't know the positioning of anything, so when he welded it back, obviously the offset was going to be different. When we sent the transmission off to the trans reconditioner, it came back and that thing was remounted, and now it's broken. Don't know if it was broken before or after trying to flex things into place. We only just found out about it now, because you don't know about things until you start doing the job. So the next job I should really do before I pack up, what's the engine oil in the engine. Aside from that, this is oil out of the front diff. I'm disappointed that people never service the front diff. What I did, I actually pulled the front diff plate off, the housing plate, and I saw all the spider gears, like the spiral gear, and then the, I don't know what the main gear was called, the big, huge one, and then there was the little spider gears. There's one spider gear I can remember being in there, so that's all I saw. I did that, pulled that apart. All of the gunk was about that high in gunk. It was so full of gunk. Every time I'd spray it with degreaser, like through the hole, just more stuff would come out. I had to essentially clean it out as best as I could. Ended up getting lots of tissues of junk come out of it, and so all the tissues are in there. All that black stuff, literally, that is what it looked like inside the front diff. So I can imagine what mine's going to look like, since I've never actually serviced it, and I have to service mine eventually. I've now got to do engine oil, upload a video, this video, and essentially now you guys know where I'm at. This is 2 weeks of work. Today and yesterday I worked on it. Or I'm not achieving much every day. The reason I don't do this for like a job or anything, this is not my engaged sort of thing, I'm not engaged enough, is because of the mess makes it hard, the environment makes it hard to work on cars. You're looking for things constantly, you're getting angry. I had to get angry yesterday with a bolt, a spring, and a washer. The washer kept falling off the screw, the bolt. The spring was too tense that I couldn't push the bolt into the hole and screw it back in. And there's 3 compartments in the transmission, so that was really annoying. I've now, all I've achieved yesterday, transmission case oil for, the transfer case, and the rear differential, which was pretty clean. I will say they serviced that, even though it was pretty gunky. Other than that, I still have not mounted in new shockers for the rear. Brand new. Dad wanted them out of the box so he could see what they look like. Now he knows what they look like, and hopefully they don't get damaged or anything, so they can stay there for now. I'll move them back a little bit, or even rotate them so that they don't roll off the chair too easily, because they're out of the boxes. Dad wanted to know what they look like. There you go. Found more rust right there. So there's a little bit of work still left on this. How far is it from going? Auto electrical is all that's going to be left when this thing is ready to fire up. The injectors are still loose. Someone's messaging me. Maybe. Yeah, you can pretty much see it's pretty much going back together. The thing is, it's scary to start the thing for the first time. New rebuilt engine is the oil I used in the transfer case, but I don't think it's the best oil in the world for it. Then there's the oil for the rear diff, 2.2 litres. The oil we used in the front diff was old stock, can't get this anymore, and that's what we used. I'm pretty much done here for today. Today what I achieved was, yesterday I achieved painting some of this. I just made it look nice so that Dad would stop talking about pulling things apart more, because I don't want to work on this anymore. I want to be done with it, because I'm spending my money on this, not his. Right, let's get down to it. What have I achieved yesterday? Yesterday I achieved painting, transmission case, rear diff. Today I achieved front diff and all the hoses down there on. Did some shopping between the 2 days. Oh yes, also yesterday I also replaced the hoses for the diesel fuel, so I still have to re-prime it, and I forgot about that. I honestly forgot that I have to reprime the system. Because they're in lines. I've got work tomorrow, so I've got to get to bed early today. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Another job that I can't complete because we've got to wait until kits are in stock and whatnot. Because can't get the right clips. Clips aren't the right ones. And that's another clip. That one's apparently broken. This one might be original, don't know. Yeah, pretty much the scenario. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm everything. That's what happened to a brand new kit seal because went too long without the right parts and parts expanded, got broke. That's over, game over for that. This is still sitting on the bench. Still needing a little bit of work done to it before it can go on a car. I'm also getting low enough that on money I can't afford any more stuff at the moment, so I gotta wait and see. Like I said, between my belt and this bearing and the little bits in there, it's about $30-40. So I said I'm spending my money on Dad, not his money on him. Also, I sport the oil, so he owes me about $30 for oil, $30 for those bits that were meant for my car, so it's $60 there. Said he owes me new ones. He owes me new parts, and he's not going to do it. I don't believe he will, but yeah. Also, I gave him my oil, but at the same time, I've also got to give him something so that I can use this while mine's out of commission and I do all the work on it. So, jobs I got to go do to mine before it goes off the road. I need to do the exhaust. That's all that needs to be done on mine before I take it off the road officially. This won't be on the road, I don't think, for a couple more months, unfortunately, because I've got to pull everything apart again. And there's so much work in it. It might not seem like much to everyone, but I've already put in half the bottle of fluids, and that sucks because now there's only 5.5 litres left. 4 litres per bottle, 7.5 for the system. And because of that leak. Actually, do you guys want me to verify that there's actually a leak? We put that container under the car. It's been a little while now. Let's see if there's any fluid in here. I'm trying to see if there's any fluid. No, there's no fluid in there yet. There's fluids on the ground over there somewhere. But she's about ready to drip. Let's actually get under there for one last check. See how that crack is doing. So see how the drip is going. Because that drip has made some progress since we last saw it. Hang on. Guys. Look at that drip. Told you it made progress. Now you just got to wait for it to drip. Or just leave it alone. Because we wiped that. That's leaking. That's the end of that. I've got to get up. I've got to go. I've got to pack up. Go inside. Have a drink. Have something to eat. Go to bed. After a shower. Finish cleaning up one day. Be done. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.